Hello everyone, this is Victor Momo from Excel Moments. In this video, I want to show you two use cases of theme colors. Did I pronounce that correctly? Theme, theme. Okay, this may not be a challenge for some people, but for some of us who are unnecessarily finicky or pedantic, if you may, we could find this irritating sometimes. And theme colors are proven to be a workaround. Let's get into it. For most of us who are familiar with Excel, just looking at these cells, you would say to me, oh, these are hyperlinks. Once you hover over and you see that hand with the finger, you're like, oh, yes, this is a hyperlink. And most of us could identify it because we are used to the formatting of hyperlinks, which is like a blue color for the font and it being underlined. But that's just the default formatting. You can always change that, right? And have your hyperlinks maybe green if you are more like, if you are going green. Okay, so now this is not the problem. Let me okay, yeah, you know how to create a hyperlink, right? You can do Control K or long way. We go to insert, we go to link, and then we go to link. And I can say I want to link to a place in this document, maybe sample 4, this sheet here. The reference, okay, I want it to go to A1. I can type what I want it to show here. New link. And I do OK. So once I click this link, it takes me to that sheet and to that cell in particular. So you click this link, it goes there. Excellent. But when you come back, you see that it's changed the color, which show that you've technically in Excel terminology followed the hyperlink. So when you follow a hyperlink, more or less like clicking the hyperlink, it changes to show you this. The question for me is, why does it change? Yeah, I've clicked the link, but you don't have to tell the whole world that I have, So I do the same here, and my secret is out there. Yes, it's click these two links. You don't have to know. So I find this a little, this is the word irritating. So I'm like, oh no, I want you to remain the same color. For this, I use same colors to fix it. So let me show you quickly. So let's go to page layout and go to colors. This way you have theme colors. These are themes, but I'm not talking about themes as a whole. I'm just focusing on the colors. So you'll see different, theme colors here, and these are the custom ones, the ones I've created. But let's just go to customize colors so you see what's going on. I'll talk about these accents as we go on, but for now, let's just focus on, hyperlink and, followed hyperlink, right? So you can see that hyperlink has a blue color, while followed hyperlink has this interesting, maybe maroon or burgundy, whatever it is. But that's what happens. And when you click a link or follow a link, that's the color that shows up here. So what I'm just going to do is to make the followed hyperlink and hyperlink same color. But first, I have to know the exact RGB for hyperlink. So I click this. I know this should be the color, but I can go to more colors, custom, and I see the RGB 599193. I hope I remember that. Okay. Then I come to followed hyperlink and I go to more colors and I do what? 599 and what? 193. And I do OK. And now I have the same thing. I could give it a custom name. I could leave it as custom 2 and I do save. Now you see that they've reverted to the same color. So when I click the link, come back, still same. So that's the first case. Yeah, you're like, oh, this is not really a problem. Well, for me, it is. So now that's been solved. Let's get into the second one. So this is the second one. Okay, I think I'll take this out first. So we use it exactly as it is right now. Okay, so what this one is a waterfall chart. I will put up the chart and we'll see how it works. I'll just quickly explain it, but because it's not a video on waterfall chart, but it just helps you to explain, variances between maybe a certain point and another point, or between a time t and another time. So I know I had 400 employees as at this time. Now I have 513. I want to know what has happened. There's a difference of 113, but it doesn't mean 113 people joined. There could have been, resignations, terminations, deaths, new hires, and all that. So this just helps to show why I moved from this point to this point. Let's pull up a waterfall chart. This was introduced in Excel 2016. So insert, you see the waterfall kind of looks like steps. You click it, this is what the waterfall chart looks like. But for it to really make sense, your first and last points, in this case, Means those are the points of reference, need to be totals. Totals meaning that this wedge needs to start from the bottom. So it's like a full block, while the others are wedges in between, showing why we moved or how we moved from here to here. This looks like a total, but it's not a total. It's just because it's the first point. So right click after you've selected that point alone, right click and do set as total. So it becomes a total. Then you select this point alone, right click, make sure you're not selecting the series, but the point, set as total. Now, what this shows you is what? It shows you you know, the difference between this point and this. Okay, I think I was testing it before I started recording. Of course, resignations will be negative. So yeah, let's put this back. Okay, yeah, so that's kind of what it looked like. I was just trying to show something and I left it that way. Okay, so it kind of shows you how we moved from 400 to 393. You know, had a dip of 50, 30, then rose back up. So typically you arrange in ascending order from most negative to most positive so that you have this kind of sign, like a wave effect. Okay. So, but that's not the point here. I know that blue and orange seem to be the best colors for the eyes and for people that maybe have some defects or partially some form of color blindness. They can easily distinguish between these colors, which is why I think they are used mostly as the default. But for some corporations and some people they are more used to having green and red, as in for their wedges. So red for negatives, green for positive. So every time I come in and I have this, I have to manually change this. So I have to go in here, right click this point, change it to what's it called? To red for negative, do the same and do this for green and all that. But this is me formatting every point. If I introduce a new variable in here, like I did the other time, if they said, oh, they were transfers, there were some transfers, and I introduced transfers, and I put a number there, say 60, it comes up with blue, which is not the color I want, which is green. I have to come in and change it again. And that's really a pain. But for this, I can take advantage of theme colors to solve this problem. So let me show you how this works. So long as really this workbook for me is just more for my waterfall, I'm okay with using this theme because it's going to affect, everything in the workbook. So when you go to page layouts and you go to the colors, let's just pull up one of them, customize colors. Now, you would see here that the first three accents follow, the first three series here. So the increase is blue, the decrease is orange, the gray is, total. That's the third one, right? So this is what Excel follows. Accent 1 to 6 are the colors it uses to plot, the first 6 series of, a chart. So let's go to sample 1. I think I have a chart here already. Yes. So if you go here, look at this chart. Let's try and correlate this with the colors you see. So you can see that I have 5 months here. You can see blue, then orange, then gray or ash, then like gold or yellow, and then, blue and so on. So it means that once I change those accents, the colors, I can have them fixed on what I want. Okay. So it means that I need my first three to be what? Green, red, and whatever color I want to use for total. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to create do customized colors. I want to create a new theme. Maybe I call it waterfall. So accent 1 is what is responsible for increase. So I put this as green. That's what I want. Then accent 2 is what's it called? Negative. So that's red. And accent 3, typically we use like some form of blue like that. Maybe. And I do save. Okay. So I now need to apply that theme. So I go here and you'll see it in custom themes because these are the ones I've created. And I choose waterfall. So once I choose waterfall, right? Did I do that? Yeah, sometimes it's just acts very funny. That's one thing I've seen with the what's it called? With the waterfall chart. Because I can see that I'm selecting, the theme I want. You see it changes, but for some reason it just refuses to pick it up. Let me right click and say reset to match styles. Well, Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe I was doing something wrong. I would love to see what that is. But now this kind of looks, okay. So if I just plot, so if I take this out, delete, and just plot again. So let me just do Control A and just plot, insert, and then, pull a waterfall, you know. So all I need is, set this as totals, and this would be, the colors are all I want. Okay, right? And if maybe this number changes from negative to positive, which isn't realistic, but just for demonstration purposes, changes to 70, you can see that it becomes, green. And if I change it back to negative, it becomes, red. So this way I've kind of customized, what colors would always come up based on, the accents. I know that the first three series here are used for my increase, decrease, and total. And once I've set that as my theme, then I'm fine. But that applies, across the workbook. So when you go to sample one now, you can see that it starts with what green, red, and blue. So typically, most times when I do my work, I have a workbook for all my waterfall charts. So since they all use the same theme and the same colors, then I'm fine. But so these were just two examples of, maybe real life challenges that I face, when it comes to the colors not staying the way you want them to. So even if you introduce anything in here now, for example, even if you introduce something and just say, oh, okay, whatever, just a variable, you know, 50, it's going to show up with the right color. Okay, so that's how I use theme colors. At least those are two examples for the hyperlinks to make sure the hyperlinks remain the same. And for like the waterfall chart where things keep changing and I have fixed colors that, my bosses want to see, I have to use theme colors to take advantage of that. It's a different topic to show you how to, use theme colors in some other workbooks, but I mean, that's how it's done. So if you like what you've seen, you can subscribe to the channel, you can hit the like button. If you can think it, Excel most likely can do it. So to the next video, guys, take care of yourselves. I'm out.